When our Farnham group joined the Wessex in 1958, the club had a hut at Hillgrove. It was this ex-army hut that slept 15 in bunks and as many as you could on the floor at Wessex dinners and occasions like that. And the hut warden at the time was George Pointing, who we can see here. And there at the back there throwing the logs about is John Thomas, just by the back door of the hut with Jerry Gams and Dave King. You could just make out the stove. And that's Dave Berry bringing in some water from the tank. We didn't have pipe water, and the water was collected when it rained off the roof and put into that tank. It had obviously been raining when this picture was taken, because that drives pretty muddy. That was John just went into the hut. Vic Bennett by the tank, and that's Dave King doing his best to coil up a rope. John and Adrian Dewey over there are actually wringing out my tracksuit, because we'd been down Stoke Lane that day and things had got pretty wet and stretched by the look of that picture. And this is another picture of George pointing up to Hillgrove with a box cub he'd recently caught. He brought it up to show the lads before he released it. And there's the hut in the background with the stove, the pipe for the coke stove. You could see that in the picture there. And that's George off to release the fox. Now George was the man that introduced us to digging. In fact, he roped us in to dig down at Thrupe Swallet with him and Norman Tuck after we'd only been in the club a couple of years. And the club were involved in the dig down there on and off till 1965, before things got too deep and dangerous. It was by the side of the old Somerset and Dorset Railway, as you can see in this picture. And when you were at the bottom of the shaft, it shook a bit when a train went past. And this is the entrance to the dig. It's since been developed into a small cave by Rich Whitcomb's crowd in the last few years. The chap with the pipe is Les Teasdale, who became club chairman in the middle 60s. I'm not sure who that is. I ought to know. It was a good place to go and dig for a few hours before the pub opened on Sunday. And that's Ron Harding with the limp. He'd cracked his leg down Cuthbert's. It was just about getting better then. The Wessex have had a bit of a love-hate association with Cowhole over the years. They were involved when it was first opened in 1935 with MNRC, but it only remained open for about 4 years. And from 1947 onwards, the club made about 5 attempts to reopen the cave, and were finally successful, only for it to close a short time after that. These shots were taken during the 1962 attempt to open Cowhole, in fact a successful attempt, and it shows the team on the first day when they were in the process of removing the shoring from Jim Hamwell's previous attempt. Alan Surrell there by the tree was the chap that inspired this dig, and he was a very good coordinator of digs over that period. Our Farnham team were roped in on this, and in fact are operating this winch at the moment. That's Norman Tuck there, and he was the chap that we dug with at Thrupe Lane. And the photographer, that's Dennis Warburton with his Cine camera. Dennis made a much longer epic film of the whole dig at Cowhole, which we have in the archives. That's Will Edwards standing down at the bottom of the trench with the sack. Dave King's now taken over on the Traverse rope. And this is our team, Titch Hall in the front there, operating the hauling line to pull the stuff up the winch, up the shaft. And with the boulder net is Keith O'Mahony. Empty. The mud was pretty glutinous, as you can see from the picture there. I went back with a camera later when Alan Surrell, this is the chap in the bald head at the bottom there, was supervising the installation of the vertical concrete pipes. George pointing in the hat there. And you can see in the days before Hymax and mechanised digging, we did things the hard way. There was a lot of interest in that particular dig for that summer of '62, and they usually had enough manpower over there. There's Alan with the bald head again. Phil Davis pulling on the rope there. That's Mike Thompson. Roy Hobbs there, I think, further up. And you just see Dave Berry coming in there to take a leading role and get in that pipe. That's Dave on the right of the, in the blue shirt, on the right of the pipe. There, pointing down there. And there you see it when we've got the third pipe of the ring in place. Alan's about to take a bucket of cement down and start working at the bottom. There he is again with a checkered helmet. And he's had an electron ladder down the shaft there at this point. Rob Hobbs again there. And that's Tony Dingle in the corner there, the tall guy. Just climbed out. And there in the background are Jim and Judy Hamwell sitting on the grass. There's John Church at a later stage when they put in the fourth bridge with Phil Davis and Dennis Warburton with the camera. We did have one chance to get into GB Cave. Professor Trapman finally gave us permission to have one go at it to see what happened, and we took these few shots. John climbing up the balcony. It wasn't over successful because GB is a very big cave and our lights were really lost in it, and all we could do was get close-ups of a few things. But it was a good trip. These are the formations up on the balcony in GB, which we took on that one trip in there. And naughty John has got his hands on the formations. This is up on the balcony. And the man joining John is Keith O'Mahony. Stalagmite bosses on the floor of the balcony.